All right, on the weekend, pair of tough road games. I think the biggest thing was we didn't really have our offense clicking on full cylinders all weekend. Approaching the weekend, well, what I talked to the team about is with 4 in a row on the road, is there's going to be something not working, whether it be we're serving poorly, whether it be blocking, whether it be overall defense, whether it be passing. In this case, it was attacking. We did not attack well. I thought virtually the rest of our skills over the weekend were really quite good. I thought we defended very well. I thought we blocked very well. I think we had 17 in 5 games against Central. And it was attacking. We were unable to generate kills, and some of that's Central's defense doing a very, very good job. I thought their Coates kid had an MVP weekend, and so we tip our cap to them. I thought, that being said, without the ability to kill the ball and still being at 11-10 in the 5th game, I thought showed a lot of character of our team. I thought being down 0-2 and coming back, and I thought winning games 3 and 4 convincingly, by 3-4 points, showed that we were ready to fight and ready to compete. And again, we did all of that without the ability to kill it. So we were encouraged by that. We were encouraged by the character and the fight of our team, but there's no question that we need to kill it better this weekend. We go to Buffalo, Akron, both very difficult road environments. Buffalo's always significantly better at home. So and it's the second time around. I don't like playing teams the second time in a season on the road. We have to. That's the way the schedule works. That's always a dangerous situation. And Akron, I think, is 5-1 in MAC play at home. So it's not going to be easy. We're tied right now with BG for first, but we got to focus on us and doing our thing and worrying about trying to get some road wins this weekend. Go ahead with your questions.
When you scout a team like Central Michigan, is a defensive battle something you kind of expect, or is that just kind of how the game plays out once things get going? Is that something you can kind of predict, or does it kind of just happen how the team's playing?
I thought looking at the preseason numbers, again, before this, we even got into MAC play, it appeared to me that Central had been playing very good defense. I know they're physical and a good, solid blocking team. I know their libero is very talented in the back row. So I think you expect that they're going to play well defensively, and you're going to be in for a fight. I know they serve aggressive. I actually really like the way our passers handled their serves. I thought we did a great job with that. So I think we knew it wouldn't be easy to kill it. We just, we didn't have everybody going.
So what'll be kind of different this week, playing Akron and Buffalo on the road than it was to play them at home? Like you said, two teams that strive in their environment.
Well, I think it's, at home, we've had our offense going all year. So, the expectation at home is that we come in and we do our thing. And we push our will upon them and win because we're at home. On the road now, we still try and do the same thing. It's just going to be more difficult. I mean, you're going to be in an environment that it is harder to do that in. So we will approach it the same way. This is what we do. This is what we're going to do to beat you, and hopefully we execute well.
So with the offense down last weekend, is that something you'll focus on this week, or trying to go back to striving the balance between the two, or maybe holding on to the defensive approach, kind of the strong defensive approach against these teams?
Yeah, I think we will put a premium this week on kills in practice, the ability to kill it, and we'll probably push our players to generate those kills. But at the same time, we got to be a little bit conscious of health. I mean, we're back-to-back road weekends and then a MAC tournament on the road. So that's we got to be a little bit careful, make sure we're getting enough rest, make sure we're not over exerting ourselves at this point. I don't want to get anybody sick here coming down the stretch.
So it's kind of far ahead, but if you do happen to see Central again in the tournament, do you think the girls will kind of have a lot of fire going into that game, definitely want to come back out and play strong against them in the tournament?
Well, I hope that they have that feel against anybody. Central knocked us out last year, and we didn't come out and assert ourselves in game one, this year. So I don't know if vengeance is something that our team thrives on. I don't know that that's our personality. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, who's to determine if the revenge factor is something that makes you better or worse? And each team's a little different like that. As we always talk about each team being different, you just don't know. I mean, in 2010, what were we, 1-8 in 5 game matches? And you say, wow, you must be really bad at coaching 5-game matches. And the very next year, with a younger team, we go 9-1 in 5-game matches. And this year we're 1-2. We've only had 3. So you never know what the character of a team exactly is. You're usually able to reflect back afterwards and kind of figure out what meant a lot to a team.
So how much do the girls kind of focus on what other teams in the MAC are doing, or is that something that kind of just falls on you as the coaching staff, like kind of comparing like what BG did tonight versus other teams? Is that something you kind of want the girls to kind of stay away from so they can focus on?
It's a mixed bag. I mean, I think we probably have 4 or 5 players who know a lot of what's going on in the MAC. They either have club teammates that play on some of these other teams or players that they like or don't like on some of the other teams. I remember when we were at home and beat somebody, I went in the locker room and they knew BG lost already. It was 20 minutes after our game, and I was like, well, how'd you guys know that? And so they were either checking to see how BG was doing or they were, So there's a mixed bag. I would say there's 4 or 5 that really know what's going on and pay attention to it. And then there's the rest that kind of worry about us.
In terms of getting ready for the postseason, Coach, is it better to be head and shoulders above everyone else like has been the case here before, or like the last couple of years where it's nip and tuck and you're fighting out each and every match is important down the stretch?
That's a good question. Do you want to go in with the confidence of 3-0 sweeps? For example, in 2010, I think we won 5 of our last 6, and 5 were sweeps, and we went in and swept the tournament. Some of it's draw dependent. Some of it's the ability to fight and compete on the road. I don't know what the exact formula would be, but I do think that toughness matters. And I think when we walk into the Spire Center for the conference tournament, if you're able to gut out tough road wins, I thought we did that at Toledo. I thought we came back the next day and won at Ball State. I think the toughness involved being down 0-2 and pushing Central, I thought was tough. I think toughness matters on the road and in neutral environments, and that's going to be important in the conference tournament. So to answer your question, I don't know. But I do know that if we get tougher with tough road wins, that will help us down the road.
Do you think it was important this weekend to get in some time at the Spire Center, since you have a relatively, you play a lot of people that obviously haven't been in this situation before, and Abby and Meredith and the other freshmen, and the sophomores didn't really have that long an experience last year?
Yeah, I think being in the Spire Center is nice. They've switched some things there, which I think will help the overall quality of the tournament. They're working to get it lighter. They've flipped a lot of lights. They've moved center court so the wall will no longer be a factor. So I think the Spire Center itself will be less of a factor this year than it was last year. I thought the facility was very much a factor last year, but I think this year they've made some changes that'll work, make it much more neutral. Well, I mean, it's neutral regardless, but much more of a college venue. And I think that I do like that we went there and we didn't know what to expect last year. The coaching staff didn't know. We didn't know that the floor wasn't going to be a wood floor. We didn't know. And now we know. And now our freshmen know. And so there will be a few teams in the conference tournament, 1 or 2, that maybe weren't there last year. And so, yeah, it's nice to have a little bit more time in there.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you all.